The biggest lie I hear all the time about foreign women is that they're all gold diggers and scammers, and they only want you for your money, or they want to get a green card to come back to your country. And I typically only hear this from men with what I call a broken picker. I get this comment from men on my channel all the time, quite frequently, because it's really, for me, not hard to tell the difference. Although some of the women are good at concealing it, I don't want to dismiss that, and I don't want to be insensitive towards, the men who have been scammed. I've had a small scam that I'll tell you about a little bit later in the video. What is a broken picker, by the way? A broken picker is what I say some guys have. They just cannot pick good women. They see the candy, the outside beauty, and they get so hooked. And I see these types of women online that are really good at that. And I don't even try to match with them because, they might be stunningly beautiful, but their photos are very promiscuous, photos in bikinis, photos in bed, women that have a lot of tattoos. Or I see women that are always doing something very expensive, like, they're staying in 5-star hotels, maybe have a sugar daddy, they're traveling to different countries, and they don't have a job. So who do you think's paying for all that? Well, the guys that are being scammed, guys that are in it with a gold digger. Unless you've got really the funds to do that. My experience has been mostly positive. I've only pretty much dated good quality women. And I've found that most foreign women are of high quality. And you just need to be able to filter out the bad ones. That's probably the most important self-growth that I've actually had, is that I finally value both the beauty on the outside and the beauty on the inside. You got to have both. And when I first started traveling and dating overseas, I'll admit I was actually quite thirsty, having just come out of the chaotic American dating culture. It was like I prioritized, I wanted to date a gorgeous woman. And now I still want that, I still need that, but it ain't worth it if she's rotten on the inside. And guys, whether you agree with me or disagree with me, let me know your opinion in the comments section. One of my favorite things about doing this channel is interacting with you guys. And so the biggest way to meet quality women is actually by traveling long term. Actually, I made a video on how to do that you can see up here. Because if you can stay in a place longer than a week-long vacation, like if you can stay in one city for a few months, you can actually really start to meet the quality women, because the first thing a quality woman is going to ask you, in my experience, is how long are you here for? I get asked that question all the time. Whereas if a woman doesn't care how long you are going to be in the city, she just probably wants a transactional relationship. Now, I'm not saying that we shouldn't be careful when we date overseas, because there are gold diggers, there are scammers. But when I meet guys who have been scammed, most of the time it's like, you kind of ask for it. And I say that with empathy because I actually got scammed once in Colombia. See, there was this beautiful, stunning woman that I met on Bumble, and she lived outside of Medellin a few hours. And I thought that I had vetted her properly. I got her social media, actually did a video call with her. And so she was going to come down to Medellin for 2 nights, and we're going to hang out and see how it goes, And I sent her $50 for her transportation, the bus ride, and so she can get lunch on the way here. And then immediately after she received the $50, she blocked me. So I don't ever do that anymore. And it is hard because some of these women can be quite seductive. My Colombian ex-girlfriend kind of had me on her finger for a while. I would get upset with her about certain things, and she could pull out her seduction tools that women have, and they can use that at opportune times when she wanted something, being really sexy and stuff. So I get it. It can be hard, but we always hear about these guys and the stories in Thailand, guys that are 70 years old, they meet a 22-year-old bar girl in Pattaya who's fallen in love with him, and then, she seduces him, and then he ends up buying her a house and putting it in her name, and then she dumps him and he's lost all his life savings. So we hear these types of stories. You need to protect yourselves, you really do. But meeting women who only want you for your money has not been my experience, because I filter properly. I could still get got, and obviously having money helps your dating overseas. Being a gringo really does help. But I feel like the women that want me actually, you know, they want the perceived improved lifestyle that they would have by being with me. Who wouldn't want an improved lifestyle? You know, am I not in a foreign country for an improved lifestyle? Yes. Everybody wants to improve their life. So we don't need to chastise anybody who wants to improve their life, but we do just need to look for women who want to improve their life by doing it in a healthy, responsible, honest manner. And there's a lot of those out there. And real quick, the other myth that I hear all the time is, you know, that they only want you for your green card. No, you know, like most of the women that I've met, the good quality ones, don't want to move to the United States or the Canada or UK, Australia. They don't want to. They'd rather be close to their family and their friends and their culture, their mom, you know. And in fact, that's a deal breaker for me. I don't want to date a woman who wants to move back to my country because I want to live overseas. You know what I mean? And the only exception I've really found is when you've got a really good quality woman and she happens to be very well educated. So she might want to go to the US to earn a boatload of money. For example, if she's going to be a doctor or a nurse, they don't earn very much money in the Philippines. However, they get paid handsomely while in the US. So I hope that I shattered these myths for you guys based off my experience, and I want to thank you for watching this channel. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel, and until next time, ciao.